All right, everybody. That's welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's hard to believe already. This is Web 3 by 3. This is going to be your weekly interactive conversation around the business side of Web 3. The focus of this program is to develop engaging and interesting case studies and analyses of uses of Web 3 and how you, as a business owner, might be able to deploy this for yourself. So we're here to provide insights, some thoughts, the questions that aren't being asked, not for the get-rich-quick crowd, not for the crypto bro crowd. This is more for business owners and folks who want to learn about Web3 and Web3 marketing, how to apply it, and how to benefit from it. So I'm joined as usual by my hosts, Michelle Peterson Clark, the content marketing queen.
Hi, everyone.
And Mike Neubauer, your ops guy.
How's it going? Glad to be back after a week sabbatical.
Yes. How's the new edition, Mike?
Going great. Everybody's good. Everybody's healthy. A little sleep deprived, but gives me an opportunity to keep up with trending articles, which we'll discuss today.
Mike Excellent. Is welcoming a newest member of the family, and we are happy for him. So this will be sort of interesting to see how you last here, Mike. I'm going to take us into story number one, if that's okay. Actually, this is, for those who care, episode 3 of season 2, and we are titling this episode, "What is Amazon's Crypto Game?" And so with that, we have a story out of cryptonews.com. This is Amazon to enter the crypto NFT market with gaming initiative. So the brief is that there's a plan right now. Amazon is working on a plan for customers to play crypto games and claim free NFTs on the Amazon platform. So they're expecting to announce this in April of 23, and Amazon has been posting roles for Web3 developers for over a year now, going back into 21. So before we comment on this, thoughts first from my colleagues. Michelle, want to lead us off?
Well, Amazon. You know, the first, was it 3 years, I think, they only sold books on their platform, nothing else. They perfected how to do that. And then they added, I think, DVDs it was. And then they did that for another couple of years. So now everyone thinks that Amazon have always sold everything all the time. But in actual fact, that's not true, because they started with one thing, got good at that, added another thing, got good at that, right? So now we know that they're good at selling and promoting and distributing a large amount of items. Why will them getting into the Web3 game be any different? I mean, I can imagine that they are thinking carefully about this. In fact, if you read the article, they advertised for Web3 developer type positions back in 2021. So they are slowly and have slowly worked out what it is that they're doing and where they're going to go with it before they launch it. And interestingly, this story isn't from Amazon. It's through people talking about what they know about what Amazon are looking at and talking about.
So Amazon is keeping mum on this. I agree with you, Michelle. And Mike, I see in the comments field here, Zach, thanks for joining us, my friend. Zach is asking what chain we think this launch will be on. Mike, you want to comment on this?
Yeah, so reading it in the article, Avalanche is definitely going to be one of the ones that they go with. And, you know, look, we touch on this pretty much every week, but I think it's such an important point to keep reiterating here. These major companies are going to dip their toes into this in some way, shape, or form. It's inevitable. And while we really like the decentralized format, there's going to be centralized aspects that these companies are going to try to implement into their existing way to do these businesses. The gaming component of it is probably just another theory or, I guess, strategy to keep people on their platform. Thus, be able to provide ad placement to those people who are playing those games, charge those companies to get placement on people who are interacting with those in an effort to earn those NFTs. It also opens up the marketplace for them to sell advertising space to NFT projects because they know that that's a very targeted audience that, you know, they could easily leverage. Where this goes, I guess we'll wait and see. If I were a betting man, I would say that at some point, Michelle, you touched on all the products that they've started with versus where they're at now. Owning these NFTs will get you an inside track to specific marketplaces and products within that platform. That is something that I think that they truly don't understand quite, I guess, exactly at this point. But those of us who are here trying to dissect what the technology can provide, that only leads me to that path of victory for them.
So, Mike,
so you can imagine,
please.
Sorry, Mark. You can imagine though, can't you, that Amazon Prime will have an NFT, and the things that you get from, whether it be, maybe they'll have 3 different ones. Maybe they'll do a Prime Standard and a Prime Medium and a Prime Premium or something like that. And you will get certain things from it, not just your shipping for $6 a month. And so I can imagine that there will be a whole lot of those sorts of things available as well as they get going. One of the things that I like about this, we've talked a number of weeks, haven't we, about companies that have gone, oh, yippee, let's do a Web3 strategy, let's drop some NFTs and make some money. And they've had no strategy, no plan, not much thought went into it. Now, the fact that we know that Amazon have been looking for developers for 2 or 3 years now, that they are actually going to develop something that I think straight out of the gate will be phenomenal.
So, Michelle, I gotta comment on that though. Is this just another Web 2 pretending to be Web 3?
At this moment, I would say yes. Michelle, I don't know where you're at, but I see that there's a path that they could easily just build for everything that we know about what NFTs can provide and the technology that's available today. They could easily provide, for example, a staking mechanism that provides reward tokens, right? So partnering with the blockchain, whether it's Avalanche or, whatever one they want to, having that Prime NFT and then staking that NFT as, some sort of a reward metric that you can then redeem for maybe credits in your Amazon Prime account or shipping, or maybe there's partner programs or products that can jump in and provide, I guess, upsells to their product line in exchange for those.
I can answer this, Mike. We're thinking about the e-com platform. Go beyond this. It's the movies, right? Amazon's got a whole movie arm. You can have early access to all of their content, if you will, or limited gated content based off the NFTs you get through the games that you play to earn. There's a whole ecosystem, and this comes down to platform. You nailed it. This is if NFTs and Web3 is anything other than a platform, please tell me, because Amazon is king of platforms. Go ahead, Michelle.
But what about things like, now you can put your physical book on Amazon, but you can also have an audio book or a digital book. What about if you were able to create an NFT for your book or your audio podcast or your, you name it? I mean, I think that the sky's the limit really as to how much innovation they can make from this. And Mike, what about the fact that Amazon might actually come out with their own blockchain?
Well, that's a very real possibility. In fact, it might not necessarily be a blockchain that's public. If I were in their shoes and I was really exploring this technology, I would look to get their entire corporate structure built on blockchain. And you can do that where it's, it is a private chain, but you're almost kind of putting your money where your mouth is in your own corporate infrastructure. But let's not lose the trees in the forest, right? Let's look at it for what it is. What is Amazon right now? Obviously, a variety of these different solutions, web services, all of these various things, movies. It's a marketplace. And what does an NFT community need? What does it want? It wants access to marketplaces. There's no reason in the world why this can't be the first step in Amazon competing with an OpenSea and really creating this exchange platform for a fee or for additional eyes on your project. This is where this is going. And then you're going to have these projects have the ability to market themselves for discoverability. This is potentially a game changer with an asterisk. Obviously, we know this is a massive corporation. With that comes monetary greed, comes centralized elements. We have to keep all of that into consideration. But the fact that they're willing to play in this sandbox, it's a good sign.
All right, Davos Mike is back. Here we go. Couple of comments out of I want to point out, Zach, very nice. I agree with this. Zach says, interesting use case for NFTs. The bigger question, does Amazon release their own token and not just NFTs? Thoughts?
They could do it.
They could. I don't know. I would be surprised if that's their first move, to be honest. Given what's happened last year with cryptocurrencies and tokens and social coins and all of that, I would actually be disappointed if that was one of their first moves.
So that's a great point. I think that Mike's earlier comment about whether they run their own chain or not is a factor here. And wouldn't that be their goal, by the way, to run the money end of the e-com as well?
Of course. I mean, look, let's not confuse certain things. Just because they have a token doesn't necessarily mean there's a liquidity value to it. I mean, there's such a massive marketplace within Amazon. They can easily create their own internal economy, the Disneyland dollars, so to speak, right? So they can create this Amazon coin that's only applicable within that community. And then as a product that's selling on Amazon, as a brand, as a company that's selling in that marketplace, you can actually take that as currency, only applicable to purchase other items within that marketplace.
So comment here. Thank you very much, Scott, for joining us. Scott Breen in the chat here saying that you can't mint a PDF as of yet. Actually, it's something he's working on. Minting a PDF, and this ties into something Aaron has also said. Thank you for joining us, Aaron. That will they enable creators to turn books into NFTs to allow secondary royalties? These are interesting thoughts.
Well, you can actually, I know of a couple of use cases where people have created books with NFTs. As NFTs, sorry. So it is currently possible. So I can't see how it would not be possible on their marketplace.
Our friend Linda Ray, Linda, good to see you. The Web 4x4 here. If they have their own chain, can they control they can control the sociographics, right? So competitors getting access. You can control things when you control. Once you have the chain, and God forbid the token, it's an endless thing. I think the point is that the platform angle and thinking of these things as a platform, if one player is going to emerge as the dominant force in a platform world, I got to agree with both of you guys. It's going to be Amazon.
Well, circle it back to the first part that you asked. Is this just another Web 2 construct using Web 3 terminology? The answer is maybe, right? Like they could easily be playing that game. It doesn't.
Is it maybe, Mike?
It definitely is. But again, they are going to somehow be forced to leverage the technology if they're going to be claiming they are, right?
I think the concept that people confuse is decentralization and transparency, which is key elements of Web3. I don't think we see either one of those, no matter what they do out the gate.
It depends on how it's built. If they have their own blockchain, I agree with you. If they're leveraging a blockchain like Avalanche, which it appears that that's going to be the forefront, at least out of the gate right now, then they have no choice. They're leveraging someone else's territory.
Right.
They have
Which
the
makes
tools, the money, and the strength to definitely build their own chain. So I just don't know if they want to go all in, because once you open that can of worms, man, it's going to be very difficult to fix it if you screw it up.